Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Rick Roll. Alright, so last day of, well, normally this would be my long weekend, but it was a short weekend this weekend because I worked on Sunday. So I only got really 3 days this weekend. But I go back to work tomorrow for my short week, and then I'm off for a short weekend again. And what I want to do today is I want to tear out some dead plants in the front yard. You recall about 5 months ago, we had a really freakishly cold spell for about a week where basically the whole state of Texas just kind of froze solid. And I lost a few plants at that point. And the truth is, some of those plants are still in the ground. And I want to get to the point where at some point I can replace them. And before I do that, I got to get them out of the ground. Now, I want to kind of do this gradually because it's really hot out and I don't want to be outside doing a whole bunch on one day because it's supposed to be into the mid to upper 90s today, and you know, so it's kind of earlier in the morning. I want to kind of try and get this done before it gets too hot. So let's get going on this. Yeah, see, this is one of the plants that didn't make it, and so I want to get this out, get it kind of ready to the point where when I get an opportunity I can put something else in here. See, it's weird, some plants made it, some didn't. Here's another one that made it. Here's another one that didn't. So these are the plants I want to take out. Actually, this one's bouncing back a little bit, but that's not going to cut it. So we're just going to pull this whole thing out and get ready to put something else in its place. All right, I got to admit, the first one actually came out pretty easily. It was pretty dead, but you know, basically what it is, I cut off all the dead branches. So I just kind of had the root ball, and then I dug under the root ball with a shovel and basically was able to pull it off, and there was one big root that broke off and was still stuck in the ground, and I just grabbed it honestly with a pair of channel locks and pulled it, and it just came up like a big weed. So one down, one to go. Now, even though the plant did come out pretty easily, it's still really hot out there and I'm already sweating. So I'm going to take a little break inside the house, kind of cool off a little bit. And what I've been doing for the last day or so, you may remember a few videos ago, I mapped out the electrical system in this house, figured out what circuit breaker handles every outlet, every electrical device in the house. And what I've been doing lately is drawing up scale models of each room with pictures that show exactly which breaker is controlling each device. So I'm going to do another couple of those. Yeah, so these are the diagrams I've done so far. This is the kitchen one here, and you blow up on that and you can see, you know, where the electrical outlets are, where the lights are, garbage disposal, dishwasher, refrigerator, range, microwave, and also what breaker they're on. So breaker 28, breaker 28, breaker 28, you know, all that. And I'm going to print these out, probably laminate them, and we'll keep these for reference in the future, and that will enable me, if I need to ever go to the point where I need to make some adjustments on things, you know, I can pull this out and say, okay, that's on this breaker. I'm also going to create a master list that lists each breaker and everything that's on it. So I'll actually have documentation both ways. I can go to a particular outlet on these diagrams and tell what breaker shuts it off, or I can get a list of everything that's on a particular breaker. So like I said, it's going to be a little bit of computer work, but we are making progress. That's the hall. This is the living room, and like I said, I got the kitchen back here. So got those done. I think we're going to try and work on some of the other rooms right now. All right, second one came out just about as easily. So that was good. I also kind of went around over here. I used to have a couple of rosemary bushes over here, and they didn't survive the big freeze either. And I thought maybe if I cut them back a lot, just kind of cut everything back to like the stump, they might recover, but they never did. So I decided while I'm out here, I might as well pull those out too. Now, I'm pretty sure that whatever this is, it's a weed, but it's about to flower. So I don't know, I'm going to give it a little bit of time and see what happens. And you know, it wouldn't be the first time I allowed a weed to grow in my yard just because it was kind of a cool weed. So other than that, I think we're going to get rid of all the kind of loose stuff along the ground here, and then we'll just kind of plant all of this in at some point here. Maybe not this weekend, but definitely in the very near future. Now every year for Christmas my mom gets me a live Christmas wreath, and this year I hung it up on the front of the house, and it was actually still there this morning when I got up, and it was starting to look a little ratty. You know, I've been meaning to take it down for a while, but you know, you had to get out there with a ladder, and that was just something I wasn't able to do at the point. So I decided, since I was out here today, to try and do it, and I was going to see if I could do it without actually having to get a ladder. And I have this big long metal pole that I use for like trenching and stuff like that. And I thought maybe I could just lift it off of the hook with that little pole, with that digger pole. And as I was kind of messing around with it, I saw a hornet fly into it. I said, oh, okay, there's probably a hornet's nest in there. Well, I got a ladder out, pulled it off, and yeah, there was a big nasty hornet's nest behind that thing. So we went a little hornet hunting today. I have one of those Raid hornet and wasp and hornet spray cans that like shoots a long stream. So we nailed that, and then kind of washed off the side of the house to get the nest itself off. But yeah, that was a little bit of excitement today. Just wanted to do a little update on how the garden is going here. These tomato plants are going to town. In fact, I was just looking at this one. Check out that tomato right there. That thing's about the size of a golf ball. So that one's going to be good to go in a while. There's all sorts of tomatoes over here on this plant and on these plants in the background here. And even the ones up here that don't have any tomatoes growing on them yet, they have a lot of flowers. So there will be some tomatoes there at some point. Oh, there's another big one. Look, there's another one about the size of a golf ball. So yeah, tomato plants are going to town here. Very happy with how this is turning out. We're going to have a big harvest of tomatoes. Now, jalapenos on the other story aren't doing so well. But even here, there is a little bit of progress. This plant here actually does have a little pepper growing on it here. So, I don't know. Maybe that's going to be the extent of what we're going to get here this year. But, you know what? Like I said, this is all a learning experience. And Flash's Cave seems to be doing all right, too. I guess the remnants of that pumpkin gourd thing, whatever it is taken off here, and it's starting to grow. And looks like we're going to have some pumpkins growing over here, so that's interesting. Someone commented on one of my videos about a week ago, and they said they're not really a fan of when I lock the camera on the tripod and just give you 3 minutes of a rainstorm that's happening in the backyard. They find that boring and said they felt the need to skip past that. You know what? Whatever. I'm not going to change the videos, change the way I do videos, because you know what? I love the rainstorms, and that's one of the reasons I came to Texas, was to get a little variety in the weather, and I'm going to share that with you from time to time. But they said that they would like to see, you know, more videos of the cats and more videos of the garden. So we're going to try and incorporate a little bit of that too. And well, here's Bite and Nibble doing what they love to do most, which is just sleep. That's probably why I don't show you a whole lot of them, because, you know, that's probably just as boring as staring at a rainstorm. But there you go, by request. Alright, so I got the front of the yard pretty much under control right now. I still got to put some plants in it, and that'll probably be something we'll extend into next week, hopefully, if the weather permits. It's supposed to be raining next week, but we'll see. You know, that's a few days away, and a lot can change between now and then. You know what they say about the weather in Texas: don't like it, wait 5 minutes. But anyway, I succeeded in getting all of the documents done for each of the individual rooms for the house. And so, you know, I've got all the I got each room set up here, so I know what breaker everything is on. And I think that's going to help a lot in the future when I need to do work on something. So I think that is pretty much all that I have for today. I got to go back to work tomorrow, and so we're going to wrap this one up right now. So thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.